Okay, so I'm assuming that when you first open up your newsletter to work on it, you are viewing it like this. This is basically what we call the design view. I like to work in the split view mode, and that mode allows me to look at my code as well as the design side of things. So if I'm actually doing my changing of items on the code side, I can see them happening on the design side as well. For our little walkthrough, I'm actually going to use the Presidents of the United States of America because it's got a little bit of everything on it. And usually when I'm looking for something to change, I'll look on the design side and highlight it, and then it'll highlight and kind of jump to on the code side. Scrolling through the code side to find things is, I'm kind of losing that touch, so I'm relying a lot on the design side of Dreamweaver. But here I will kind of walk you through basically what's happening. What I have going on here, actually this might be a very bad example. Yes, it is. I'll explain why when I get to a new one. We'll do Bombay. Yes, Bombay's better. You'll notice on the code side that we have several spans in place. The spans provide the style that the text is going to look like on the design side. The first span is basically telling us that we've got the whole cell is going to be Verdana, and it's going to be bold, and that's the entire section. So I highlighted span, it highlights the whole thing. So it's open up here and it ends down here. The next section is the actual artist name. This is the color that the artist is going to be displayed as. This is the font size, and 18 pixels is probably the biggest that you've worked with on this newsletter. So all your artists should have an 18 pixels always. If you want them extra big, then you can up this and it should change. So if, say you just wanted it huge, you could change it, oh no, return. You could do 28 and it will make it really, really big. I think the newsletter looked pretty good the way it was at 18, so just make sure that all of them are 18. The color, that color's green. This color's the blue. This color's the red. So whenever you want to change the color to one of them, say you now have a new artist you're putting in, I'll go back to this section. Jane's Addiction. Is coming around and they're going to play April 13 at Showbox. Oh, no, that's not big. Showbox at the market. And you want red. I would actually go to something that is currently red. Copy on the code side the red, go back to Jane and put it in, and there you go. It's now red. It also, since we have here, you have two lines that are the same size. I try to keep everything within the same line if possible, or the same style as well. And I just put the break in because you wanted the age on a new line. What could have happened here is we could have ended that style there and because it's a new line, we could bring the 21 down. And this is more for visual purposes on the code side. If you want to kind of keep it to reflect what's on the design, you could do this as well. So either one would work. You know, it stays the same over here. So you have the font color and size for the date and venue, and then you have the font and color size for the age. So that would work as well. If you don't want it, you know, you can just go back to the way that it currently is on the newsletter that you're using as a template now. This really small font is font size 10, so you can type in whatever you want in here or need. I noticed on the just announced and this week, the more info is a bigger size, so that has, you know, the style, its own style for that size. I noticed that for up and coming though, the more info is a size smaller, so that remained with the size 10 of the ages and the support. And you can interchange, you can use these, you can use these styles throughout. So if, say, you have a new artist, and let's just pretend here that we need to add and I'm just changing the background color to white because I placed it above iced earth. Say, for instance, you're adding a tour name, and usually that's a pretty small font size. Just grab the style from, you know, whatever size you need, place it right below the first span, and type in, you know, tour name, and then close the span. And I noticed that you have the tour names on a separate line, so you just want to put in that break. And you can do the break either on your code side. Okay, I lost it. Here. Okay, on your code side like I did, or you can actually go over here to the end of the line and do shift return, and it'll put it in the break on its own. And then we can just change this to whatever the artist is. If it's, you know, supposed to be green, find a green one, copy the color, go back to Jane, change the color in there, and then, you know, change up the information as you need to. When you do changes on the code side, your cursor is still on the code side. It won't change over on the design side until you click on that design side, and then it'll update. So yeah, so this is all the same size. It highlights on the code side, so it's a 13. The all ages and more info is a 10. Right here you have this a size bigger than more info, so it got its own span. If you need to change the color on here, you know, just grab color all the way to the end of that, whatever that is, put it within the style, and then change colors. If you need it to be red, just to call it out more, you can change it. If it has to be black, there's your black, and so on. So I hope this helps. kind of, sort of. If you have any questions, just let me know. If you're, oh, here's the whole HTML, CSS new inline thing I was talking about in an earlier email. Let's go back to our Jane's Addiction example. Say you want to add smaller text. I'm putting in a line break. We're going to type something in here just for an example. I don't want that the link has continued. So we're highlighting the text. We are going to HTML, which I believe is the default when you first open DreamWeaver. You delete the code and it'll remove the link. And highlight, and then you go back to CSS and you click new CSS rule. Right underneath that is new inline style. And basically it's taking what is currently in place. So it's Verdana, bold, it's black, it's a font 10, and the background is white. If you want to make the font bigger, you know, kind of like the artist name, you change it here. And we don't want to bold it, you know, we want to keep it a normal font, but we do want to italicize. Maybe you're promoting an album, a book, a name of a song. You would italicize that. And we want to change the color to, I don't know, for shits and giggles, we'll go purple. And so you've created a new font, a new style basically. But what it did is it created just that one line of style. So it doesn't change anything else. It's opened and closed right within. So if you need to change just that style, say, well, let's make sure it highlights just that type. And you can check that by looking on the code side. Say, for instance, you don't want it italicized anymore, you want it bold. It'll change just that section. And it's all on the CSS, and then it goes the new inline style. So that's how you would do that, or you would edit any of these as well if you don't want to go through the code, if you don't want to do this split. So we're going back to code, and we're going to now change this, oh, I don't know, here, red. We're going to change that to red. As you can see, it's giving me all the details just for that. And hit enter, and it changes it to red. And then we can just get rid of